Hello everybody, welcome to The Art of Talking, or if you've been here before, welcome back. You're here with
Caoimhe,
Shauna,
and myself, Shannon. So on tonight's episode, we have a lot of exciting things happening. So we're going to talk about performance methods and things that we have discovered worked and what didn't work, methods that we've seen bigger companies use online. We also have a fun new news segment with Caoimhe.
Hey.
And we also have Reece from the band Fast Thursday coming on as guest for an interview. So a lot of exciting stuff. And then at the end, we will conclude with 5 tips and a few challenges for working online. So guys, we all finished a degree online. And obviously all of us being drama graduates, we couldn't get to do the performances we wanted to do. Or for you, Caoimhe, you want to do an installation and we couldn't do that because of lockdown and COVID. So was there any methods or anything that users discovered worked for users while working from home? Or
obviously with doing a drama degree, there are quite a lot of performances involved, and I was involved in performance projects with both of yous. So obviously we couldn't do those performances, and one was particularly kind of challenging to do online because me and Shauna and another 2 girls in our class were working on the piece about deafness and hearing loss.
That was good.
We had kind of planned to have maybe speakers and stuff and different kind of things, but we had to completely change our approach then, and I had to edit from the perspective of somebody with a hearing condition, which was quite a challenge. One of the writer actually has the hearing condition, so it was kind of good that I could kind of go to her and see kind of what I was doing was kind of right. So that was quite challenging, because we kind of had a plan before of what we were going to do, and to adapt something, I suppose, it's so complex to do online was quite hard. Shannon, I suppose with me and you, we were working on a performance, a monologue piece.
We just a lot of challenges.
Yeah,
to film in a small space and move to different parts of the bedroom to try and make it look like a different area. But that was a challenge.
I know, but we got there. And I suppose working in that new way and finishing my degree in that new way kind of gave me a new skill set, because I never really looked into much video editing and stuff before. I'd always been interested in lights and sound editing, but I never really explored video editing before. And I honestly don't know, had the lockdown not happened and we had to finish our degree in the way we did, I don't know if I would have gone into video editing otherwise, and I don't know if I would have learned those skills. So I suppose it did give me a new skill set, but it was quite a challenge at the time, because I was sitting in front of a laptop on software that I wasn't familiar with the pressure of it being final year, and the pressure of it being other people's projects as well.
But you know what? You kind of got to take the good with the bad, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it was challenging, but you've learned a new skill set.
We were so lucky though, in terms of we'd lecturers and staff members who were so understanding and give us that extra time to give us, me personally, so much time with each of my modules and projects, because it was very challenging. I had a job on top of trying to do a degree, and because people obviously were furloughed, I had to do extra hours. So trying to do that on top of work was challenging, but the lectures were there, it gave you the time, gives you the advice and everything, so that was great. I think one of the major things I found challenging was trying to do when we doing our practical work, the performance-based work, that was so difficult. Difficult, because you're doing it, you can't do what you wanted to do, like what you envisioned and what you like were hoping to do. Like you can't do that. Like I had to do one of my performances in my bedroom. Like my sister videoed it on her phone. Like it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been up to the standard what I would have liked. But then again, you just have to get on with it. You just have to adjust and do the best with what you got. And you might not have the best tools and equipment, and you might just have your phone, but it does seem like I got a pretty good score, and I did decent enough, so it wasn't too bad. Do you know what I mean? As long as you put as much work and effort into it, it'll pay off in the end. So don't be stressed.
No, I agree. I think as like an actor, it just gives like a whole new set of challenges to utilize the space that you have, and you might not always have a theater or a stage or studio space to work with. So it real for me as an actor, it was really hard to try and figure out where can I do this and where will it work. So I have the space that I need to give the performance that I want to give. But I think it's like that was one of the things, is just utilizing the space that you have and the technology that you have. You know, like my performance was like filmed on my phone, then I sent it to Caoimhe for editing on. It wasn't the best quality in my camera, but you just have to work with what you got, you know.
I suppose I kind of have a similar experience from a directing perspective, but it was kind of hard trying to find those spaces and trying to, like, because when you're in a theater, a theater or a studio or anywhere that's kind of designed for a performance, you kind of maybe would have like a backstage area or like a couple of people to help with changing scenes and stuff like that, so you kind of have everything you need. But in a, like, obviously in a bedroom, it's not as like convincing. You don't have the backgrounds and the lights and stuff, and you're also missing that audience interaction, which I think is really like a really defining factor for theatre, and what makes theatre and film so different.
That's true.
That's what it felt like. It felt like we were doing a film rather than doing a theatre performance, whereas we were getting marked for a theatre performance. Do you know what I mean? But that, like, without that audience factor, I agree. I know as like myself, you know, being a performer, that I rely on the audience interaction, you know, like feeling the energy from the audience, because that makes you like either perform more into yourself. It just depends on the energy that you get from the audience. And without that, it was really challenging to, you know, try and really, you know, give the best performance I could give without that audience interaction. I wasn't used to not having an audience there.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think what I kind of liked about it was the fact that I find that throughout my uni experience, I do rely on other people, especially like if you're thinking of a project, like I rely on bouncing ideas off of other people, you know, to get my inspo. But like this time you kind of had to do that on your own. Like you can't, like, it was a lot of independent work, which I kind of enjoyed because it challenged me and made me be better as a learner and as a creative person. So like it was challenging, but I think it gave us a new sense of confidence. Like if we wanted to do things
on our own.
Like what we're doing now with this podcast, like we now have the confidence to go and do that, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, I completely agree. I think as well, it was really important that like we were all there to support each other too, you know? We might have been doing all different projects, but we always had each other to go and rant to, and we're still in it together. Do you know what I mean? We're still in it together now doing this podcast, you know?
Yeah. I think though, for like ones that don't have great like myself with the Wi-Fi and the connection, like that was horrendous. Like I feel really bad for anyone living in the country or living places don't, like, I know we laugh at that, but it actually was awful. Like I mean I had really stressful times because I was talking to my lecturers. I was talking to one of my lecturers I was doing my teaching like module on, and he was giving me all these tips and advice, and I couldn't hear half of the conversation. And so I was relying on the other girl that I was working with to like message me
pass on that information.
But it was so annoying because like I couldn't, like it wasn't even like you go on the phone, it's not great phone connection either, you can't hear out in the phone either, and you're trying, like it was a nightmare. So and then you didn't get really any help from, I remember filling out a survey of saying that I had bad connection for the uni and nothing was done. So I think like universities need to think about the people who don't have great connection, if this online thing is going to be a long-term fix.
Yeah, I think
It,
as well, like this was like the first, that we've never been in this in this situation before. So I think
yeah,
it
that's
was a
true.
learning curve for everybody,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
university, the lecturers, the staff, for the students, it was a learning curve. And it all happened very abruptly as well. We all went
Yeah.
home for that wee break, and then we heard that universities were closing down and we weren't going
It was
back.
literally over the space of a weekend, like, because I remember
Yeah.
us being,
I thought it was gonna be a couple weeks.
I know we had playmakers on the Thursday, and then Shannon, you went home on the Friday, and you messaged on like Saturday or something to say you weren't well and you wouldn't be down the next week, that you had to isolate or something. And then by the Monday anyway, like the uni was closed. Like it just all happened so quick. But
yeah, like I literally as it was declared the universities were closed, I got a message from work being like, "What shifts can you do?" like that's what I want to say. Like literally at the day that it was said universities are closed, you can do it from home. My manager on the phone was like, "What shifts can you do? What hours can you do?"
I just think it's crazy. It was a crazy experience, guys. Because that's right. I remember I did text you saying I had to isolate or something. Didn't end up having corona, guys, but I was just isolating. I was just to be in the safe side, and that's like what my doctor told me to do, just in case. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose back then nobody knew what was actually going to happen. You kind of had to take the precautions. Like
it wasn't really like now where you can get like a test, you can get a home test if you are feeling the symptoms, and it's happened during cold and flu season as well. So I didn't want to risk it, and it was just a flu. I didn't want to risk bringing it to anybody in case it wasn't, but it was just a flu. But and then the university shut and we didn't go back, and that was it, and we ended up doing everything online.
It's kind of crazy. I know.
But so since we did all those, we discovered new methods of doing things online. There's actually been like bigger companies now that have had to change and do things online. So for example, the Playhouse Theatre in Derry, we're doing live streams of performances now because couldn't have the audience and stuff. Have any of you seen anything about
Yeah, well, I obviously I work in the Playhouse, and I kind of seen what was going on behind the scenes, and it was just kind of a matter of trying to bring performances to audiences and do it in a safe and kind of safe way. And as far as I remember, one of the first performances back, as far as I remember, there was supposed to be a live audience, and then we got word to say that live audiences couldn't come in, so it was going to be live streamed anyway, but it just took away that element of having like a socially distanced small audience. And I suppose that would kind of be a shock to performers as well. But I've also seen Big Telly here have a performance of Macbeth, live, virtual and immersive on Zoom, it's described as. So I thought that was really interesting.
That would be very interesting.
So they're also working on stuff online, on using this platform that we're using. I suppose it's kind of reassuring to know that like other bigger companies are using like the same technology as we are, maybe.
Like Zoom.
I know.
Zoom is saving grace.
I know.
In times like this. But
definitely.
I think it's very challenging to work online, but again, it's good to hear that theaters still are trying to make work and do it online, and do it in a safe way, and trying to adapt, you know what I mean? Because it's better that than people doing nothing and things just shutting down completely and people not being able to do what they love and what they enjoy. So I think that's really good that artists are trying to adapt and do things online and still trying to do what they enjoy and what they love and work.
Even music has gone online. I know Band Recovery. I know them quite well. They were involved in a competition there, and they had to go to Belfast. They were through to like the finals. They had to go to Belfast, like socially distanced, pre-record all their music. It was initially supposed to be a live performance. Had to go to Belfast, pre-record all their stuff, and then that was actually streamed on Instagram then, and it was a vote to determine the winner, and the company actually just used like a Google form, and you just went on and voted for whoever you wanted to win. You know what I mean? But it's good to see that people are resilient throughout these things. I've always said that creatives will always find a way to be creative throughout this.
Yeah.
No matter what, I agree 100%.
So guys, I'm going to pass this now on to Kiva for the exciting news section.
So welcome to the news. This isn't like a typical kind of just sit down and rant facts and stuff at you. This is actually going to be quite interactive. Maybe comment below what you think. We're going to do 2 truths and a lie, so kind of structured like the drama game. I'm going to read out 3 news headlines and their wee catchline statements thing, and Shannon and Shauna are going to talk and discuss and work out which one is a lie. So I'll start with number 1.
I'm gonna be awful at this, I presume.
Number 1. The UK is streaming Christmas songs earlier than ever, and the catchline is, the UK is getting into the Christmas spirit earlier than ever, judging by the music we're buying and streaming. Second is, Children in Need, audience-free show raises £15 million. Pudsey Bear returned with a host of celebrities on Friday night for the 40th anniversary of the BBC's fundraiser Children in Need. And finally, Strictly's Nicola Adams out of competition after partner Katia Jones tests positive for COVID-19. Katia Jones tested positive, but this wasn't showing symptoms as the pair are forced to bid an early farewell to the TV show. There is a lie in there somewhere.
Well, okay, I was watching the news a few days ago and there was something about Strictly and someone having to leave. And I've actually heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. I watched that in the news.
That's
so
true.
I think that's a truth.
Right.
Okay.
Free show. Okay. Believe that.
Well, John Lewis has just brought their ad out, so like that's kind of start with the Christmas season, isn't it? But Michael Bublé hasn't come out yet, so I haven't heard Michael Bublé on the radio. So that's normally whenever you know the Christmas is really here. He's a human advent calendar for Christmas. Once you hear of him or see him, it's Christmas. I don't know, because they both sound like, you know, plausible.
I feel like it's Pugsy.
What is the lie or the truth?
Lie.
I'm
trying to watch Kiva's face.
I'm not reacting. I'm really good at not reacting, like, aren't I?
Kiva has a poker face. She will not
I
get
know. You got your resting bitch face. It's really hard to tell.
I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna say the music is a lie because I haven't heard Christmas music being played apart from the song in the John Lewis ad, and I haven't heard any Michael Bublé yet. I love her. That's my reasoning. That's my logic. So I'll say that the music thing's a lie.
The reason why I think the Christmas thing is true is because like people need a little bit of hope, and everybody's putting their decorations up early this year too.
Oh,
and I feel like everyone is like getting into the spirit more, and I feel like this is the perfect chance to like just like put more of that music out there with the Christmas tunes. So yeah, I'm going with Pugsy.
This is just a wee side note, but somebody where I live literally had their Christmas decorations up the day after Halloween. I am not joking.
To be honest, if I had my own home,
2 days before Halloween, person in mine.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. So to be honest, if I had my own home, I would do that.
You put it up on the 1st of December, you take it down on the 6th of January, end of argument.
I agree.
All right, I voted.
So I can now confirm that Shannon, you were outvoted again. Shauna is correct.
Oh, yes, I knew it! What? Oh my god, yeah, I got to see it there. Oh, sorry.
Children in Need didn't raise 15 million. They actually raised 37 million.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's class. That's amazing.
So, a wee subtle lie there, but
I see what you did.
Right.
Everybody, see what you did.
I'm wearing yellow, and I felt like I'd go with Pugsy because I'm wearing yellow. Do you know what I mean? Like it was meant to be. This was.
That's what inspired you.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. That's. I felt like there was a connection there, and it was telling me to go with Pugsy. I was so happy I won. I never win anything. Yeah.
So now we'll hand back over to Shannon.
Okay, guys. Well, that was fun, even though I lost. Even though I lost that
You'll
one.
be better.
I'm not better. I'm not a sore loser. So now, guys, we have a very exciting guest coming on. We have Reece Nelson from Fast Thursday. So I'm going to pass it to Shauna for the interview. Woo!
Right, guys, we have a really exciting guest here today. Reece from Fast Thursday is here with us.
Hello. I got woos. Yeah, I got my woos. I am Reece Nelson. I'm the lead guitar player and lead singer of Fast Thursday, and I am a 15 years plus musician in Northern Ireland.
Hi, Reece. So I'm going to hit you with the first question here. We'll get straight into it. Tell us your most memorable moment with Fast Thursday.
Oh God.
That was an easy question.
What?
They get harder.
Yeah, the last one is killer, but we'll see if that.
when you have a band like ours, like, you know, there's some stuff you don't talk about, but there's I think the most memorable moment for me, something I'll never forget, is when we went on tour and we were in Liverpool. We were playing in Liverpool. People started singing our lyrics back to us, which was weird because obviously we had never been there before and we didn't know anybody there. And then when they were singing back to us, I was like, this is freaky. Like we had a proper stage, proper sound engineer. The crowd was singing back to us and like dancing. And we were like, is this how it's supposed to go? Have we been missing something in Ireland? Like,
Class.
That must have been such a good feeling, though.
Yeah,
like,
that must have been amazing.
Yeah, like that must have been so surreal.
See, to be fair, there wasn't much time to enjoy it because like when you're on tour, you're just so tired like all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like after we got the van loaded up and all, we went to like have a conversation about it on the way to the hotel. And we got to the hotel, I genuinely just fell asleep. And then woke up the next morning. And I was like, do you remember last night? Was I dreaming last night that they were singing back to us? And they were like, no, they really were singing back to us. I was like,
That happened.
Like, you know you've made it.
Yeah.
They know our songs.
it's like we booked the next tour. We're doing 45 gigs in Liverpool.
Just a whole tour of Liverpool.
Nowhere else.
Yeah, they made me feel good. I'm okay with that.
Well, in saying that, like, would you have like a favorite song to play live? Like, you know, your go-to one that you know is going to get everyone buzzed.
Oh yeah. We have a song called Drive.
I listened to that one. It's really good.
Well done, Shauna.
Yeah, I did my homework.
Okay. So our songs are like a lot of the second EP was like the song on like Anxiety, which is like kind of funky, like kind of dancey riff, and then you had like you had Drunk, which was like a fast rock and roll song, but Drive was like one of those ones where it just gets like really guttural and messy, and it's the one for the end of the night when everybody's really drunk and just wants to start one of the world's best mosh pits and just start killing each other. It's amazing. We actually had a kid at Stendhal Festival when we played Drive, jumped in a mosh pit and lost his earring. Lost it, but he left a comment. I can't remember if he left it on Facebook or YouTube, but he left a comment under the thing and was like, "I loved you guys so much, I lost my earring." So I tried to get, I tried to get in contact with him. I was like, "I'll buy you a new earring." And then I lost his contact information. So if he sees this, can you leave?
Yeah.
The contact information below.
Yeah,
Your earring.
I promise you a new earring.
There you go, earring boy.
Nice. And so since lockdown hit us, what have you been up to?
Well, in the first lockdown, I was kind of locked up here, which is kind of my cave, as you can see, acoustic guitars, and I was doing a lot of acoustic like cover stuff just because I was bored, and But then I do a lot of our mixing for the band, so I was doing a lot of mixes and stuff. But the hardest thing was trying to get all the source material to actually mix with.
Yeah.
So I was doing some mixing for other people. I'd done a bit of mastering for other people. I was just trying to do anything musically related, and I watched every single season of Gotham. That
So
was
good, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It just gets better though. Yeah, I agree. Sorry.
Yeah,
Off topic.
and then in the second lockdown is pretty much the same. I'm just doing like mixing and mastering stuff, and in the same respect again, I'm rewatching every season of Supernatural. So
I suppose our like episode this week is kind of about how to make art in the situation. So would you maybe have any tips for anybody that's kind of trying to do the same thing that you're doing, like throughout this kind of lockdown?
I think, to be honest, if you can, so the first problem most people are going to have is they don't have the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all the stuff because I'm really bad, and like there could be days where the car needs diesel and I'll still buy something I don't need.
Yeah.
But it's just that, so I have everything that I would need to record, but most people don't have that. So like the first thing would be like work with what you've got. So if you've got like a 2-channel interface, one microphone and a guitar, go and plug that in the bathroom, and then you might get some kind of reverbed sound or whatever. Experiment. I do have a friend in a band who has like minimal stuff, and he recorded an acoustic track with Adam, who used to play in the band with us, and I heard part of it, and it sounds amazing. And then Adam was telling me like he recorded the backing vocals in the bathroom to get a big reverb sound. He recorded the main vocals standing at the top of the hallway of the house with all the doors open, so he can hear this. He recorded guitar in the court. Like he used his whole space around him. So that's the kind of the best thing. If you can do most of it yourself, I would recommend it, because trying to get source material and work with musicians over Zoom or emails or anything is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Especially, forget about drummers in the lockdown, because it's trying to record home drums when you haven't got like a 10 grand studio sounds awful.
Yeah.
And the Logic drummers will do a good job, or use Redrum or Drum Effects, or there's loads of, if you just put in exactly what you want on Google will provide every time. There's loads of stuff out there. It's true. Most people are like, where did I get that? I'm like, have you tried writing exactly what you want into Google? And they're like, no, I never thought about that. We'll try that. And then nine times out of 10 it will come up, oh, here's not what you were looking for, but here's what we found.
Yeah, Google's so helpful for stuff like, I think, anyway. Well,
I just think if you go, lockdown helps. Lockdown's good for me because I'm an audiophile.
Right.
Is the technical term for it. An audiophile is kind of like a kleptomaniac for music stuff.
Okay.
So normally when we're not in lockdown, I'm normally working or stuff, and I don't have time to play with all this stuff. And now it's actually kind of a good thing, because I'm locked down. I'm like, oh my God, I've got all my toys.
Yeah, you get to experiment. Wow. Nice.
Like a child on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
It's actually so good. I broke out a record player that I forgot I even had like 2 days ago. Like, oh my God, I've got a record player. I've got vinyl. It's so good. But that is the best piece of advice, is just try and work within your means and try your best. Stay in school.
Nice. So do you want to like say a little bit more about your band and the history and all there? Like, just tell us a little bit more about you guys.
Yeah, sure. So we start. I actually forget how long ago we started. I think it's been 4 years, but I'm not really sure. It could be 6. I'm not sure. But we started it. I started the band at school with a friend of mine. Had always played in bands, and then I had recently left one, and I was like kind of taking a break, but at the same time not wanting to, because I was like, oh, I really want to be playing music. So there was a friend of mine at school who just so happened to be a drama student. Y'all can relate. And
I got the drama shit and say,
yeah.
he could sing so well, because I had done like some production stuff on like what was that one he done? I loved it, Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
We all know that one.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, he played Mickey in Blood Brothers. He was brilliant at it, like. And so from hearing him sing, I was like, "Hey, buddy, old pal, you want to start a band?" And he was like, "Yeah, why not?" So then we started and we sourced a bass player. But originally I wasn't supposed to sing, so he was supposed to sing.
Oh, okay.
So we got a bass player and a drummer and another guitar player. And then on our first practice, it was really funny because the first band got together, we sacked the drummer before we even started.
As you do.
Because on the way into the first band practice, the drums just never stopped. He was just constantly carrying drums like in them. We were like, "Is this seriously? You're gonna use all of these?" And he had like two kick pedals, and he had like all these toms. And I was like, "Yeah, you're super cool." So so we let him go, and then we were like, the guy that was supposed to be the lead singer just out of nowhere went, "Oh, by the way, I play drums." And we were like, "What?" So he started playing drums, and then so it was me, him, so it was Jack and the bass player Koishka, and then we started the band and we wrote that first EP, which is on YouTube, Streetwalker, and we got it recorded and we kind of got it out there. And then just because life is one of those things, Jack went off to uni and Koishka went off to uni, so it was just me again.
Okay.
On my lonesome, keeping the dream alive. And there was a friend of mine. Or actually before Koishka left, we had found another drummer, a guy called Oren McCrory. So he was coming to play drums, and then we got Oren, but Koishka left in the meantime, so we got Adam in to play bass, and then that was kind of like a lineup for a while. It was like we had drummers come and go. With the drummers, a really funny thing that just seemed to like, want different kinds of bands or can't. A lot of the time, drummers' problems is, especially at the age we started the band, is they don't drive. So transporting drums is really difficult. Like you can get on a bus with a guitar, but to get on a bus with drums, it's fun. I have seen it done, but it's funny looking. So we went from there, and then Luke joined the band, and must have been 2 years ago now, and it was me, Luke, and Adam for God knows how long. I can't even remember. And that was the lineup that went on tour. But we had Adam had left due to injury and other things. He hurt his hand real bad while we were on tour and stuff. So we were looking for a bass player, and I never even thought about it. I was friends with Jamie, who's our bass player now, in college for like 4 years, and knew he was a bass player and just never ever thought about him until he texted and he was like, "Yeah, I can play bass." But it was really funny because Jamie also nearly didn't make it into the band because he showed up with a 5-string bass, and like death metal clothing, just like staring at me, and I was like, "Oh no, this isn't going to be the guy." But it actually turned out that Jimmy was the guy, and the lineup we have now is like, I think we kept going along levels, and I think we've actually reached a point now where we're just like at what needs to be. Like
nice.
We're at the point now where it just sounds so good that we could think we can take it so far. And I like, it's not even to say like, that everybody else was a stepping stone, because everybody else that was ever in the band, like, we're on good terms with.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, like.
That's really good. Yeah.
It's really funny watching the relationship between Jimmy and Adam, because it's two guys that have both played bass in the band. And there was one day we were having a conversation, and Adam was actually at our band practice, and he was like, "Oh, so you play the bass line like that? Oh, well, I used to play it like this." And I was standing there going, my head's gonna melt. I can't take two of us in the same room together. Not okay.
Okay, so what are your future plans with Fast Thursday? And I'm sorry I didn't ask this question. It was wrote down. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Scary question.
Future plans are, so we're recording an album. So that is the immediate future plan. But the bigger future plans are, I just want to get in vans and go places. Like, it's just, there's something so good about just loading up a van and living in that van as the smelliest human alive. For like
goals.
for like
the dream.
for like days on end. Like, it's so good. Like, days on end, like, and playing the gigs, because there's something really fulfilling about it. I don't know what it is, because like, even like we made like a tour documentary from the last time we were on tour, and you can clearly see in that video that I described a packet of baby wipes as my shower.
Oh my goodness.
Lovely.
Like, that was like, although a fun tip for anybody going on tour, if you can find a gym, like a chain gym, which is kind of like McDonald's, like Pure Gym or something like that, buy a membership, and then anywhere you go, if there is one, you can go in and use their showers.
That's such a good idea.
And if you can't find chain gyms like we couldn't last time when we went to England, just go to the swimming pool and pay the £2, whatever it is, to go in the swimming pool for an hour and go and swim and get a shower.
That is
Wow.
class.
I mean, like, maybe take your shower before you go swim, because think of all
Never.
those other. Oh no! Get on!
Smelly water.
Gross.
Hold on, there's chlorine in there.
Oh, beaut.
I can actually tell you what better. Adam actually. Instead,
I don't know if I want to know.
I want to know.
So me and Luke went to the swimming pool, and Adam's a big fitness guy, so he was like, I'm gonna see if they'll let me use the gym. Now this was like 4 days in, no shower, very smelly, very sweaty. And he still went to the gym, very sweaty, got even sweatier and even smellier, and then got in the pool.
Oh, lovely.
Immediately after, no shower in between.
That's like high judgment from my end here. I'm judging him.
I started to run out of everything. I ran out of socks, ran out of underwear. It was quite the experience. Although you've never seen anything as funny as three dudes traveling in a car with underwear hanging up in the windows, drying after they've been washed.
Lovely, flying down the road with your underwear hanging out.
It genuinely wasn't the worst thing we'd done in England. Like my God, that country hates us.
Except for Liverpool.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Have you got any like places that you'd love to go on tour, or like venues that you'd love to play or anything?
I would love to go to Germany. Anywhere in Germany. Germany just loves like metal and rock music, and I just imagine me and the Germans would get on fine. But that's one of the places that I want the band to go, because I feel like that's where we would fit in. That or America, because I've never been to America.
I really want to like road trip around America. I have like my plan, like my map all worked out of where I want to go. New Orleans is definitely one of them.
I wouldn't go with Fast Thursday anyway.
No, my van will have Febreze in it. Febreze all over the van, and air fresheners everywhere.
Hey, we brought Febreze. It doesn't help.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It doesn't. We brought Febreze. I lit a candle one day in the car. I lit a full-on Yankee candle.
I was going to say, I could imagine you lighting this Yankee candle and just spraying
that must have smelled awful. Oh my God.
Yeah, but you have to remember, like your car is like it's your transport, and it carries all your equipment. It's your wardrobe. It's your shower sometimes. It's your dressing room. It's your everything. So like, I'm actually really surprised. I still drive my car, and that smell has come out. It does come out eventually.
Eventually,
that's reassuring.
But there was a few weeks after where I was just staring at the car going, I fucking hate you. Oh, God. In fact, actually, I think for the week after, I didn't drive my car at all. On the way home, we were like, because when you set out to do it, like, it's the same as anything. Like, you have so much determination. You do it, you do it, you do it, and you're not really taking it on as you're doing it. And on the very last day of tour, I'll never forget it. Hey, we were actually sitting in like a car park, looking at the boats going out, because we were once again way too early and waiting on our boats. And I had like my feet up on the dash of the car, and I just kind of realized, I was like, we just toured England. That was weird.
Nice. Right. So what I really want to know, the question I've been dying to ask, is the name Fast Thursday. What's that about? What's the meaning?
My God, somebody always brings this up.
Interesting name.
I know.
Well, there's so many. I think I've told that many lies about where the name came from that I've actually forgotten myself.
You've forgotten the original reason.
But I am pretty sure I remember, and it's the worst story ever. It's
Okay.
like, so when we were at school, when we started the band, I like kind of went between two schools for study, and the other bandmates went to the other school. And whenever we were there, I was always there on a Thursday. And on a Thursday at lunchtime, you had to get up to the shop, get your chicken taco panini with cheese, and then make it back down to the far side of the school, get into what is lovely named Smoker's Alley. Get in there, have your fag, eat your lunch, and get back to class by 2 o'clock or whatever. And it just seemed that, like, every single Thursday, somebody would say, "It's like the fast day of my life. Like, what is going on?" Like, it felt like the day flew on. It's a fast Thursday. It's a fast Thursday. So we started calling them Fast Thursdays, and then whenever the band name came about, then we were like, we should just call it Fast Thursday. And that's literally where it came from. But I've told mucho lies since then about where it came from. I'm pretty sure in one interview I said like that it came from, you know, because it was just the more I thought about it, it came from, you know, Friday's the weekend day, you want a party, so you're wishing for a
That's what I said whenever I was wondering like where the name came from. It's like, it's probably just like, you know, the day before Friday. Like, oh, it's that way.
My lies are totally paid off. I love it. That's it. It really came from chicken goujon wraps and smoking fags.
Yeah, I love how you remember your order, like just like right, like you
Like
remember
that.
everything in that order. Like I'm really impressed by that.
like I don't have OCD, but anybody that'll tell you that's ever been in a band with me, I am really into like organization.
Okay.
So like I swear, like even
can relate to that.
like even the day we left for tour, like I sent the boys an itinerary.
That is something.
That's Kiva.
That's legit what you would do.
That is Kiva.
Oh my god.
I was like, you gotta be up by 12 o'clock. You gotta have breakfast in you by 1 o'clock. Pickup will be at 4. There will be no exceptions. We will be there at 6. Like,
Yeah.
That's
I love the
Kiva.
fact you're nodding your head, Kiva.
I 100% agree.
That's Kiva. And
Did
then
you
we
be on
also
all?
have to give her a list of what we have to make sure that we have everything.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere, she'll be like, "Do you have your passport? Passport it. Are you ready?"
yeah, I do that
Like,
too.
she literally won't let us go to Greece because she had a dream where we went to Greece.
We talked about
And
this in our last
we were
one.
late. We talked about this in our last podcast, but we were going to Greece and we were not packed. And she went upstairs to go pack, came down. Me and Shauna still wasn't packed and we were going to be late. And Kevin had a heart attack. She was like, "We're not going holiday to Greece."
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
but
is all a dream, like.
Kiva, do you do what I do whenever you're doing your checklist, that everybody's a liar? So it's like, have you got your passport? Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah, it's in my pocket. Show me.
I feel like I would be getting asked that.
and then, but you're probably also like me, where I get really judgy then if they forgot something, because I'm like, what was on the
Don't
itinerary?
talk. See, the first
No.
time Shauna came to stay with me,
I
we were
fucking knew
going-
you were gonna bring this up.
I
fucking knew it.
I
knew it
am.
on the way.
we were going on a night out for one of our friends' birthdays. If you're coming the whole way from Newcastle, you're kind of going to be prepared for the night out. So
Yeah.
Shauna gets to my house and realizes that she forgot her ID. She also came a day early.
Well, I mean, props on being prepared the day early.
She tried to be
Still wasn't
prepared.
prepared.
She really
Came
tried to
day
be
early
prepared.
and still forgot shit.
That's nearly a sign of being not prepared because you didn't know what day you were supposed to be there.
I didn't even know what day it was, to be honest with you. I was coming from work and I was tired, and we really didn't even bring the story up, but thank you for that.
You know what? It's
Thank
better she
you.
came a day early than a day late.
I think that's us out of questions, so I'll hand it over to you, Shannon.
So thank you, Reece, for coming on and chatting to us. We've had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy yourself as well.
Yeah.
And so yeah, everybody go listen to Reece's band Fast Thursday. Link will be in the description below.
Check out
So,
Spotify.
yeah, check them out on Spotify.
Facebook, Instagram,
All of it.
Get the links in. Get all the
Get on
socials in.
it.
Bandcamp, where we have t-shirts, mugs. I'll even do you a badge if you want one.
Can we get badges? Can we get badges? Print
Right.
you. Do we get wee badge?
I can get just badges. I do stickers. We do stickers. We actually have a live album on Bandcamp with with a mixture of songs of our last EP and some songs that'll be on our new album. So if you want a sneak peek at songs from the new album, they were recorded live at the Ballard Theatre. So that's on Bandcamp, and then we'll leave like a SoundCloud, a MySpace, a Bebo,
an MSN.
I was going to say MSN.
an MSN, a Grinder, whatever you need, we'll leave it there.
Now it's time to give our 5 tips for working online. I think the main one for me anyway would be to take care of yourself and don't be too hard on yourself. You know, like this is a whole new experience, having to adapt and change, and I think it's important not to be too hard on yourself and don't stress yourself out so much. You know, this had like a big effect on people's mental health, and I think it's important to take care of yourself, give yourself a wee bit of self-love, a bit of self-care, and know you're trying your best. And yeah, that would be tip number 1, I think.
Definitely, I agree with that. Like, I know at the start of the lockdown and stuff, I found it really hard to kind of find inspiration, kind of.
Yeah.
But just like it'll come with time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, mine would be just prioritize your time, get into a routine, and just like put yourself first and all out there. So yeah.
Yeah, I suppose mine would kind of like. I suppose I would agree with Reece too, like what he said about use what you've got, like work with what you've got and use what you've got around you, because like you can find loads of different ways to do stuff and like techniques to do stuff, and maybe find stuff that you never even knew you could do, like me with editing. I mean, it's just on my laptop I've had now for the last like year and a half, so
yeah. I think with that as well, it's important to find a space in your home where you can work, because also you go from a work environment and then your home environment will be where you relax and, you know, you chill out. So I think it's important to set up a space where, you know, this is where I'm going to work and this is the time that I will give myself to do a certain task or project or whatever. I think that's really important too.
I think that time limit is really important, because I know even with us for meetings and stuff, like we'd start a meeting at like, we'd say we'd start it at 6 o'clock and we'd finish at 7, but we'd still be sitting there at 11 at night. Like.
I know. That's why we have a wee yarn too.
Yeah.
I know. We don't be productive for like 4 hours straight, don't worry. I would say something else that I found really important is keeping in contact with people, and like even if that's texting, messaging, ringing, phoning, just keep yourself surrounded with people. Like I know that was kind of a key for us whenever we were finishing our degree online. Like we were always in contact with each other. We were like, we would have had class Zooms and stuff like that, and I just think it's really important, especially if you're in the same situation as other people. Like they know what you're experiencing, and even if not, sometimes it's good to get an outside perspective. Kind of somebody who can step away from the situation. Like,
I agree. It's also good as well, you know, give yourself time to like chill and even just like chat to friends and chat to people who are going through the same thing or who are going through a different thing, but just talking to people, you know, it makes you feel like you're not alone in the situation, and that
and I suppose even if we're not, if you aren't in the same exact situation as people, like if your friends don't work online, they don't do creative like things online, what you have got in common is the fact that we're all struggling at the minute. Well, most people are struggling at the minute, I suppose. Like we're all facing something that's it's not really normal, if you know what I mean. Well, has been the normal for a number of months now, but check up on your friends.
Definitely. Like I'm gonna like hold my hands up here and say I'm not really great with like doing that. Like I'm not good with Messenger, Instagram, any of that. Like I would probably go weeks without talking to people and then be like, oh my god, probably need to see if they're okay. So like but, like if you're like me, hopefully you'll have friends as good as you guys that will check on me and see if I'm still alive and still living. And but like again, if other people who have friends like me, don't be offended, don't be hurt or anything. It's not because we don't love you. It's just because we're really bad with technology and we're not good with our phones, so we don't tend to use them. Yeah.
We love you, Shauna. It's okay. We know. We
Thank you.
We understand the Wi-Fi struggle. We're proud of you for getting this far with the podcast.
Yeah.
So guys, that's all we have time for today. So Kiva, do you want to recap the 5 tips?
Yep, so these are not in the order we spoke about them in, but number 1, use what you have. Number 2, keep in contact with people. Number 3, take care of yourself. Number 4, prioritize your time. And number 5, make sure you're comfortable in the space you're working in.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. We are the Art of Talking podcast, and please remember to like and subscribe. And big thank you to Reece for coming on.
Woo!
That was really exciting, really fun. And yeah, the links to all of our socials and everything else will be in the description below. And our podcast comes out every 2 Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye.